Welcome to the Orta No Better podcast. It's myself, Jay, this week, joined by Luke, Smarty and Gilly. How are we doing, boys?
Thank you.
Not bad.
Everyone feeling happier today than a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Ecstatic.
Don't all speak up at once.
I'm always happy. We're in Premier League. Fucking hell, man. Sheffield United are going.
Fucking hell. We've got one of them happy clappers here. Get behind the lads!
Elta's on fire. Everything's fine.
Yeah, he'll be putting a request to take his drum into Ellen Road next.
It's not go that far.
Tin pot bastard.
Problem is, it's one of them kids' ones.
One of them ones what you go like that.
Yeah.
Tommy drum.
You know, like Mr. Miyagi. Oh, sake. We're off to a good start here. It's going to be a good one, this. Right, so without any more fucking around, because we've already done enough of that before we started recording, I'm going to go to Gilly for the predictions, and let's see who's covered themselves in glory this week, Gilly.
Might as well just cut this bit out, haven't we?
Yeah, we might as well. So, Rex, no points. Jay, no points. Carl, no points. Bren, no points. Gilly, no points. Renda, no points. Mez, no points. Becky, no points. Smarty, no points. Adam, no points. Nitch, no points. Dobbo, no points. Hash, no points. Job done.
Well,
to you,
that
Jay.
were short and to the point, wasn't it? No changes to the table then in that case.
No changes to the
Yeah.
table.
That's you in the studio.
And the Wankers Wotton award for the week was jointly won between Ash, Dobbo, and Jay, who all predicted 3-goal margin wins by Leeds, and clearly it was
well,
not.
you know, I'm tied into my prediction now, so you know that's it.
It's not coming once yet, has it?
Not once. No, not once.
You've had a 3-pointer, haven't you?
Yeah, because I had some 3-goal victories. Yeah,
it was the 5-2, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
He'll get it in like a pre-season friendly or something.
Probably, yeah. And I'll be fuming because I won't have any money on it then. So,
what, you've been putting actual money on it as well?
No, I did put it on against Wolves. It's the only time I threw it on, only because Carl challenged me to back it. Well, obviously, it's always my fault. Having said that, the last couple of times we've conceded goals have been when I'm out of the room. It's like I walk back in and it's like
taking advice from a guy who can't even give us a fucking prediction.
Lock him in the cellar.
I walk back in and I'm like, fucking hell, what's happened?
Let's not go on about sellers.
It happened to me on the Arsenal game, you know, when they scored just after half time. And it happened on one of the other ones recently. It might have been Wolves. I can't remember now, but it's just every time I walk in, I'm just like, fucking hell, fuck this.
Yeah, I feel like the last to lock you in a cupboard somewhere.
Yeah, you know, but then they'd score loads, wouldn't they, Mez, if I wasn't watching? Because it's when I'm not watching that they score.
That's what I mean. I'm going to get your last to lock you in a cupboard somewhere when Leeds game's on.
No, he needs to watch them all.
Orange up.
We need to lock Becky out of the room when it's on, because whenever she goes out of the room, we score. So if Jay's not allowed to move away from the telly and Becky's not allowed to watch it, we'll be fine.
Yeah, keep going in and out.
Job.
That's what she said.
Like a yo-yo.
You know,
that's enough.
I think we've worked it out here, lads. I think we've fixed it. So champions next season then.
Jay'll just have friction burns on his feet where he's been running in and out of the kitchen.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking hell. No, it's annoying because it's like you come back in and you're just like, oh, I wish I'd not fucking bothered. Go get another drink. But then if I walk out again, they'll score again, so I can't. I have to sit down and watch it and be tortured like the rest of you. But yeah, so moving on from there, I think we're going to unfortunately have a little chat about the Villa game and see what you guys think about that. So I'm going to go to you, Mez, and what do you reckon? You like what you saw?
Yeah,
pretty much. The worst thing you've ever seen?
I mean, there was not a lot of positives to take from it, and I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because the lads did on Berardi and Cook, Adam, Carl, and Simon did it quite well, and I think everything they said was spot on, really. I'm not going to go into individual players' performances because it's not my style. I don't think probably Bielsa got everything right, if I'm honest with you. Positioning wise, I think we could have been a lot stronger than how we set up at kickoff, and I think Bielsa recognised that later on. But by that time, it was too late, weren't it? It was a scrappy old shit game to watch. It was probably one of the worst games, probably the worst game to watch this season, I think. Although probably not the worst we've played, although it's up there, I think it was probably the most boring game for a Leeds fan to watch this season.
Oh, it was crap. It was crap. But having said that, I think we're at Southampton first half that were pretty shit as well.
Yeah.
Very much.
Like we haven't been that entertaining Leeds team much in the last few games, have we?
No.
Although you say that, I think even the first half at Southampton, there was a lot of chances, and it was an end-to-end game, whereas the Villa game was just stagnant and shit. It was just, it was boring. And although I say that, there was quite a lot of, I mean, from memory, I think there was 9 shots on goal in the first half, but they weren't ever. They didn't ever seem to be a threat. I don't think anyone really looked like proper, apart from the Villa goal, which was fluky as fuck, I might add. I don't think anyone really looked overly threatening. It was just a bit shit. I think the pitch added to that. The occasion was, I fucking hate Dean Smith and John Terry, mate.
I think we all do.
You look at the Villa players weren't slipping out half as much as what ours were.
I didn't know.
Maybe they weren't mountain shoes.
No. Not slipping, but they did spend longer on the floor without slipping.
Yeah. Obviously, they were employing the Grealish technique, the Greaselish technique, lying down a lot. But our guys are genuinely falling over because they can't stand on our fucking ice rink of a football pitch, which looks worse than it did before, to be honest.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. I was like, was there any point buying this pitch?
Well,
I'm not showing much better off. It's just a bit less bobbly.
They needed to attempt something though, didn't they? Because
they did.
It was shy. They needed to try.
For a few games, didn't it?
What's wrong with what we used to do in '90s and just chuck a load of sand in goal now?
I think they did. Yeah, they did.
I can't remember.
There were a couple of pictures that appeared on Twitter before kickoff, and you could see that they'd put quite a bit of sand down, and it's still not had the effect that they're after.
You pay $300,000 for a new pitch, and groundsman's walking around twatting his fork into the bastard, old school style. Yeah, lads, I'll sort your pitch out for you, no problem.
Walking around stamping on bits of it. Oh, be right, well, this. All good, lads. It's all good.
Boots on, lads. They'll be sound.
You can do brown green on this.
But
What do you reckon, Gilly? What do you think's at game? Anything positive to take out of it?
No, not really. I think it's one game closer to getting Calvin back.
Yeah, that's true.
We're desperate for him. I think there were a couple of things. We looked at the formation beforehand. I think that there were some positives. If you look at Llorente, for example, I think the not the positional where he was stood, but the what he showed in terms of his pace, he looked quick. His distribution, it looked like he was passing well, and he did break into midfield a few times. We spoke before about why wouldn't it be him in there, and we've seen Strujk do well at centre back. Why wouldn't we be doing that? And I think we were all a bit nonplussed that wasn't.
We could talk about that forever, couldn't we? But we've done it to death.
But Flash is there, and he must still be rusty, and it must still have been in the back of his mind of, oh shit, what if I break down again? And to get through the game and to put on the showing that he did, because I thought he played pretty well. I think that is one positive that we can take from it. Another one is Meslier going up at the end of the game. That was fucking ace. I just wish it clattered Martinez.
Didn't get anywhere near it either, did he?
We're throwing his arms around in air like we were going to go and catch it. I thought, fucking hell, we just grab it out, pluck it out of the air like.
And there was go on.
Go on, sorry. Just to add to your theory about... I've got a theory about the whole playing Strujk at centre defensive midfield. Now, I know I said that. I think Bielsa got that positional... or a couple of positions wrong.
Spit it out. Can't speak.
We'll cut that out.
It's a big word, It's a tough one, that.
But I have a theory that Bielsa thinks we're safe, and he's giving Strujk exposure in a position that he's going to potentially progress into in the future. He's only 21 years old.
Yeah.
It looks to me like he's giving him enough rope to hang himself at the moment, to be honest. So.
I'm going to make you hate this position so much.
I think we spoke, or I spoke, and it might be bullshit, but I still stand by it about the opportunity that we've got with Meslier in net this season of there's not that much pressure on him. We need to stay in the Premier League, and then in subsequent seasons we need to be building, and we need to show that we're progressing as a squad and as a club, and that pressure's only going to build from this point on. So there's pressure on him this season to stay up, and then there's pressure on him in subsequent seasons to then progress to mid-table, upper mid-table, looking towards European qualification within what I think you said 3 to 5 years. Did Rad. So there's not as much pressure on him at the moment. So that if Bielsa's employing the same thing, then that would kind of fall in line with that. Is if we're in a position, which it looks like we are, 35 points were saved last season. We're not going to go the rest of the season without picking up a win or two. We're in that position now where there are some sides that are proper shit, and if you look at Newcastle, they're really shit, and they've lost 2 of their key players that are
3,
out, and
including Wilson.
Well, including Wilson, we put it in the chat, didn't we? So there's a real chance that Fulham and them will swap places, and it'll be Newcastle that go down with West Brom and Sheffield United. So we're in this position where it's very, very, very unlikely that we'd get caught anyway. So maybe he's just giving him his head in that position while there's an opportunity with Calvin out. As soon as Calvin's fit, we know he comes back in. But
it's
you might be right. It's an opportunity to play.
Not really one that I've heard anybody say so far, actually. That's Strujk. So
original content. Know.
That could be an Ought to Know Better exclusive right there. From
we'll have to have a little flashing badge when the
I'm not in the know. I'm not in the know.
In the know, super fan.
Jesus Christ!
If they do go down, would you take anyone from Newcastle?
Yeah, Sam Maximin.
Yeah,
but he's got fucking.
There you go.
He's made of fucking cheese strings, that lad, isn't he?
He's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rob Price would have his hands, full with him, wouldn't he?
I'd take Shelby, but not to put him in team. I'd take Shelby and put him in like a.
Not in the way you're thinking.
Like a safe. I'd put Shelby in a safe and push him into the canal.
Why?
We never have to see him again.
Speaking of Shelby,
fucking Voldemort bastard.
Speaking of Shelby, did anybody see the interview he did with?
Yeah,
I forget who it was with. Anyway, he said he couldn't play for Leeds because of Bielsa's fitness regimes and that. He was like, "Oh, I couldn't play for Leeds."
Well,
fully honest, like he said,
stay here and toss it off and have a pint.
He said,
he said, "Will you just fucking stand still?"
Yeah, to Rodrigo, he says, "Can you just fucking stand still?" He says, "I can't. My boss won't let me." My boss tell me to run.
Run. Something you do in a Chinese sweatshop.
I would have said that. I've definitely said that. I've definitely said that to a fucking whippet of a 17, 18-year-old that's running me all over the park. Would you fucking stay still?
Just hold on to him.
I've said it before when I've played 6-a-side before, and I've said, you fucking keep doing that, I'm going to put you on floor.
It's when you're doing that, Smarty, and they're like 60. That's when it's really upsetting.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking hell, I can't keep up with this
guy. Like Gilly's age?
Our age.
It's a good job. It's
right. Well, I think we better move on from that one now because we started to digress as we do. So I'm going to go to you, Smarty, now for the poll outcome.
Thank you. As you know, every week we put a poll out via our Twitter channels for everyone to vote on what their main subject for the pod will be. And this year's poll. This week's poll was won by Mr. Berardi, the lion himself, and how and if he could fit straight back into our starting 11.
We're not going with the fish and chips poll.
We're not going with the fish and chips poll.
Okay, just so I know.
The fish and chips
vinegar first.
By the way, if you did select anything other than salt after the vinegar, then you're a wrong one.
Absolutely right.
You don't deserve to have fish and chips. Someone mute Mays quick before he starts packing up. He's a wrong one. He's a southerner now anyway. He's not counted.
That's true. He wants that parsley liquor bullshit that looks like somebody's been sick on his fish and chips.
He'll be on cod now instead of haddock.
I only moved down so I could get me get me shot first, and I'm moving back.
Sorry.
Take priority. Anyway, we're digressing slightly. Jay, I'm going to come to you. Does Berardi come into our starting 11 straight away?
Oh God, I think starting 11 may be a bit soon. But in light of the injury situation that we've got, I'd be very tempted to put Llorente into midfield and put Berardi in at the back. Very tempted. But on the other hand, I also think we probably have a little bit of a rose-tinted memory when it comes to Berardi. He's quite limited and he'll probably get exposed in the Prem, but at the same time, it kind of deserves a chance, I guess.
I wonder how many penalties he'd give away.
Yeah, would you Jay, you say that?
Heads and faces he'd rip off with his right boot.
Would you drop
by VAR and he runs straight down the tunnel, gets in his car and sets off for Stockley Park?
Booked coming out of the tunnel.
So with that team, Jay, you're talking about putting Llorente in midfield, Berra at the back. He's on about dropping Strujk completely.
Yeah, possibly. Either that or drop Cooper and put Strujk at the back.
Cooper 18 basket.
He's moved his crosshairs from Cooper to fucking Strujk now.
No, I'm not having that.
I quite like Strujk. I just don't think he's the answer in that position. So
I'm
that's
not having
the
that.
only reason.
I'm not having
What's
that.
up with you? What would you do?
Well, I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't drop Strujk, who's arguably been our best centre-back this season.
But I'm talking about in midfield. If you want to put him at the back and take Cooper out, then go for it.
I think him and Cooper. I think Strujk and Cooper have been solid as fuck for us at centre back. I don't see how you could drop either of those.
I agree.
And
but
Berra,
he's got an agenda against Cooper. We know this.
Yeah. Well, my answer would be around Berra would be bring him into the squad. I don't think he'd make a start. He's a squad player. He's a good, by the looks of it, he's a good lad to have around the team. You've always got, when you turn up if you've played football or rugby or whatever you've played, when you turn up on a weekend and you play in a team and you've got a nutter with you, it just makes you feel that little bit more safe and better, doesn't it? He is that player. I think he's well liked, he's well respected around the club, and he's a solid squad player. I think he could do a job off the bench. I don't think he'd be anywhere near our starting 11 now anywhere.
You don't chop and change defenders like you do midfield and attacking, though, do you?
Sorry, exactly.
You know, if you're starting in defence, you're probably going to seek match out in defence, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but what I mean is you bring him in with the squad. You still have defenders on the bench, don't you? We've been having Pace or Cresswell. And our Davies or somebody like that. But I think he's a big enough figure around the club to warrant taking to the next to West Ham away. He played 45 minutes the other day, got through that unscathed. He must be feeling relatively fit. As I say, the interview with Andy Cousins we did the other week, he was a big admirer of Berra. Saying that he's a real likeable character and squads need that. So with that in mind, I think I'd be tempted to slot him in there somewhere on the bench.
And by the way, if you haven't listened to the Andy Cousins interview, it's rather good. So make sure you do check it out. Gilly, have you got anything to add on that, mate? Because I know you like the defenders. You're an advocate for Mr. Cooper.
Well, I agree with what Mez is saying in terms of Strujk and Cooper being a good partnership for us so far this season. When they've played together and they've had a bit of ability to build that, I think that they've looked pretty good and pretty solid. I think I think it's right to bring him back in. If you look at our benches sometimes this season, it's been a very young bench, and having a bit of experience there is not a bad thing at all. I also think, if you look at disciplinary record, early on in his Leeds career was really, really poor in terms of being able to control himself. But that was pre-Bielsa. And if you look at what's happened at Bielsa, all right, the Derby thing, I've got some sympathy for him. He did react, but he'd been fouled twice immediately before that, and it had not been given. And then there was the Millwall one that was just a complete ludicrous decision that was then overturned afterwards. So, out of the past 2-3 years, those are the decisions that have gone against him in terms of red cards. And I think when you look at that, he's grown up quite a lot and become not an elder statesman, it's not fair, but a senior member of the squad. And he's really mellowed. And actually, he's introduced a bit of self-control to his play. So I think having him there is a bit of an older head with the younger lads on the bench, I think would be a real positive. And not only that, but it's somebody solid that we can bring in. If we don't start with Alioski, he's the person that we're looking to bring on at left back. Now, if you want somebody to come in and disrupt a game, great. But if you want somebody to come in because you've picked up an injury and you want somebody just solid, steady away, Alioski's not your man, but that's who we have to turn to.
Yeah.
Berra can be that man. And I genuinely think he can be. And he can be anywhere across the back line, to be fair. I'm sure
of course,
that
he realised as a left back anyway, wasn't he? Initially, when he first joined. Does anyone remember his flying challenge? I think it was Accrington Stanley. What it Accrington Stanley?
Who were they? It might have been, yeah. I do remember it.
Yeah. He scored, didn't he?
No. You're thinking of Newport, aren't you? What did Newport score?
Newport scored, yeah. But if you look back, I mean, Berra
was still playing for us when Berardi made his debut, mate. That's how fucking long ago that was.
Yeah, but if you look, Berra started at centre back last season.
Yeah,
and we got off to one of the best defensive starts for a season, I think, ever in the history, if I remember rightly. And he started, I think. Yeah. I know that's championship, but it's just proves to show that he can do a job.
For what it's worth, I do actually agree with you all for the most part.
Recuperating bastard.
No.
Get off that bench, you twat.
No. I just approached it in a.
You get splinters up your ass.
If you could put Llorente into midfield, if that meant Berra coming in, then yeah, I'd drop Strujk. But I do agree with you all for the most part.
I think like, go on.
I was just going to say, I think, we know, we've spoken about how frustrating it is sometimes that Bielsa's so stubborn, but actually that's what's put him where he is, the fact that he's so stubborn and he stands by his principles. We can see that he wants Strujk in there, and it might be that he's trying to grow him into that position. It might be that he rates him already, but actually, if that dynamic of bringing Berra in was the bit that meant Bielsa go, actually, I don't need him in there because I've now brought Berra in. So I get where you're coming from on that. But him having more players at his disposal can't be a bad thing, can it?
No, never. And he obviously trusts him, else he won't still be there. So he's one of the players he wants there. In the
I'm right in thinking he was out of contract, wasn't he? The club kept him
out of contract this summer.
His rehabilitation.
Yeah. So he's got another year. So he's due to go this coming summer.
Yeah, but they gave him that when he were injured, didn't they? To see his rehabilitation.
Year,
So
a lot of people knocked that as well and said, "Oh, there's no room for sentiment," blah blah blah. But I don't think it's a bad thing. He's given his all to this club. He deserves something.
He won't be on a massive wage either, will he? Let's be honest. He won't be on absolutely thousands and thousands like some of them.
He'll be doing all right, but he's not going to be mega money, is he?
Yeah,
no, but he deserves it, doesn't he?
He does. So too.
Look after his players that have stood by us and stuff like that. So yeah, fair fucking play.
100%.
I think that's a poll covered.
You just can't teach that though. It's just the character of a person. That's the kind of people that you want at the club.
But I think he was one of the ones. If you cast your mind back to the COVID situation and the fact that the season ended late, he was one of the ones that actually, with the contract situation, he could have said, "No, if I play and I get injured, then I'm not going to have a career." So he'd kind of put himself before that. The club had to do the same.
Yeah. Was it Charlton who had a player who said, "No, that's it, not playing"?
Yeah, I think so.
And it was one of the strikers or something. Somebody who was quite important to him.
Yeah, there were a few. I mean, technically, I'm not even knocking them players because they were out of contract. And if you get injured, not every club is going to do what Leeds did and stand by a player.
No, that's true. You do have to look after yourself ultimately, but. When you've got that sort of trust there between the club and player, I think that's a nice thing.
It happened in the Chileno days.
No, you're right.
Chileno would have been like, "Oh, you can come and rehab. Yeah, we'll sort you out a membership, £100 a week."
Only joking. Get him off, pal.
To be fair,
put the pie tax.
To be fair, you don't know which way that would have gone. Chileno could have given him $5 million. He could have kicked him out of the door. You've got no idea what that fucker's about to do next.
No, that's true.
Yeah, you don't know, do you?
I tell you what, I wouldn't have done, giving him 17 quid.
If it were GFH, you might have gotten a fucking toffee crisp and a dib dab and sent him on his way. The bucket stand. Cheers.
If it were GFH, you'd have got home and found him.
Gilly's going. Shh. Don't talk about GFH.
We don't engage in that kind of thing on Ought to Know Better.
No, they do.
You know,
Stop
I think
it.
Smarty kind of tried to wrap up the poll bit there for us, and we just carried on a bit. But we'll move on that note. So upcoming fixtures then. I think it's West Ham away next, is it?
It is.
And then it's Chelsea at home, Fulham away, Sheffield United at home, City away. So we were talking about sort of points that we were going to take from those games in the last pod. Didn't really go the way we were expecting. First game in the list we had there with Villa. What we're thinking about West Ham? What we're saying, Gilly?
So I think I said 9 points, and I'd targeted Villa as the easiest of those fixtures. And on paper, it should have been. You know, we should have walloped them, and we didn't. It's West Ham away, which gives us an opportunity to play on a proper pitch. As bad as it sounds.
But it's in London.
We're in bloody London, aren't we? That's what.
So, do you know,
Hey, lads, there's no head on this bite.
you know, we looked at their results, and you know, they had put away teams that you might expect a team that's looking to push on to beat, without really pulling up trees and setting the world alight. I think it'll be a really good game. You know, we've got the capability to go and show what we can do, and we do have players coming back in. I don't know if Calv will be back. I'm not certain that he will be. I think there might be targeting the next game. Yeah. So I think they might be targeting it. So it's not a bad thing that we've got a bit of a break and a run up to the next one, and he might be back for the one after. But it's not going to be an easy game. But you know, they are on a good run. But we don't need to fear anyone. You know, we went into the City game, we went into the Liverpool game and took the game to them. We don't need to fear anyone at all. And the good thing about them being on a good run is that they might come on to us, and that'll play into our favour. But, you know, Moyes isn't a mug, so they might not. It depends on how they're set up as well. So it'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. And although we expected to get something from the Villa game, didn't. We never do things the easy way, do we? So it doesn't mean that we're not going to get some wins out of the next few games. It's just we didn't win the one that we thought we probably would. What do you reckon, Smarty? Any thoughts about West Ham?
I think, yeah, I mean, if there's any time to kind of beat the London curse, I mean, I know we've got Fulham in a couple of games anyway, but why can't it be West Ham? They are a good team, they're in form. But like you say, we'll be playing on a nice pitch, hopefully. Not the ploughed field. Well, it's not ploughed field. It's a slippery ice rink or whatever it is that we call it at the minute. You know, it's an opportunity for the lads to express themselves a little bit and get in amongst it. We've got nothing to fear. I don't use the term free hit because I don't believe in that. But I think we've got nothing to fear. We can rub shoulders with big boys. Let's go on at it. Let's you know, see what we can do. My only concern is that if like Gilly says, if they are a bit of attacking minded and they do come at us, we're going to be very, very vulnerable. More so probably through the middle. So I know he won't do because it's Bielsa. But I hope he does take heed and think, right, maybe if I build a wall instead of having Strujk in the middle of this pitch, we can do that. But, you know, it is what it is. I hope that we make a good go of it. But, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for this one. I don't think we're going to hammer him, should I say.
Would you put Harrison back in?
No.
Oh, controversial. Mez, what are you saying?
I don't think Costa's done anything to justify being dropped. I think Harrison's been off the ball for a few weeks and give Costa an opportunity to see what he can do.
Are you fucking
They're very like each other, aren't they?
I think you're fucking
but Harrison's better.
What's he saying? I think Harrison's better as well.
On a whole, but I think he's been off the ball.
Especially if it meant that Rafinha could go back to the other side.
I think that's the main thing for me. I think Harrison has to come back in because Rafinha looked absolutely out of sorts on that left-hand side.
Yeah, he did.
In comparison to when he plays on the right, he was an absolutely different player.
Harrison plays better when he's got a decent player behind him, though.
That's what I was about to say. I think if Dallas is starting at left back, then play Harrison at left midfield. I don't think Dallas and Rafinha work well at all. And on the other hand, I don't think Costa and Ayling worked together very well either the other night. I think that was a struggle. But in terms of the game, I think Gilly's. I think you're all quite right. I think it's going to be quite open, expansive. I think there's going to be probably a few goals. Look, they're a real informed side. They're playing really good football. They've got a smashing midfield. They've Strujk, Rice, and who's the other lad who plays in there with them?
Fuck Lingard.
Yeah, Lingard as well. So those three. Yeah. Dangerous as fuck, man. Dangerous. That Strujk has probably arguably been the signing of the season up there, probably with Raf. It's London, so we don't always do great. I think I just look forward to watching a good game. Like you said, I don't want to use the term free hit, but it is an opportunity to go and give them a real game and play on a nice pitch, bit of a dance floor. That suits us. Again, they won't sit back like Villa and try and spoil them at home. They'll probably try and go for a win. Plus, with them being fourth in the league, I think that's something they have to do. So yeah, look forward to a good game. Really, in terms of results, do I see us winning? No, I don't. I think they're too good this season, but I think we'll nick a draw.
Yeah,
they're a weird side, aren't they? Because
that's where I was going with it. Really,
they always seem to be up and down. West Ham, like the fans are a bit like us. They're either like well happy or it's end of the world, and
yeah,
it seems just you never know what they're going to do each season. It's like they don't seem to build season on season. They'll either have a really shit season or they'll have a really good season. But it doesn't seem to progress. It's just up and down.
Yeah.
But with that French player they had,
Payet.
Yeah.
My God, that season that they had him, they were really, really good. And he was.
That's the thing, isn't it? Every time they get somebody really good, they fuck off after a season or two.
He was lazy.
Like either they want to get out or the Dildo brothers want to cash in. So
he was lazy though. But
well, you look at their front line though. Now they've got. Their front line, they've got Antonio, Benrahma.
Yeah, he's good.
Who's the lad from Hull?
Bowen.
Bowen. Jared Bowen.
They've got a real threatening team. They've got a real strong side, and I think Moyes has done well with them. I'll be honest with you. Moyes is probably going to get manager of the season, simply with what he's done with West Ham because they should.
Klopp's not going to get it, is he?
No.
But I think you're right on that, and also they know how to play against sides that dominate possession. So if you look at what they did against Spurs, I think Spurs were about 70% possession. They had 5-6 times as many shots as they did. The stats look like it's a Leeds game where Spurs have dominated everything and come off having been beat.
They soak it up, don't they?
Which doesn't really good for us, does it? Because that's
No,
you know what I mean? We're in London. We're playing against a team who knows how to soak up pressure and hit on the counter and score goals. Another thing. So yeah, I just look forward to a good game. You know, as Smarty said, we're in the fucking Premier League. Let's enjoy it. Let's ride through these last couple of months of lockdown, and I'll get back to Ellen Road.
Just to go back on what Mez said about starting that season being Strujk or Rafinha, I think Meslier should be thrown in that.
Yeah, but
we bought him at start of the season, didn't we?
I guess so.
Yeah, but he was on loan last season.
Doesn't matter. We signed him this season.
Yeah,
it's got to be Rafinha for me. I don't think anyone else has.
No, I'm just saying. I think he should be. I think he should be thrown in there for a 20-year-old.
Strujk's definitely in the running though. There's no. He's been a monster for him this season.
Yeah,
but you don't just have one fucking nominee for Ballon d'Or, do you?
No.
You know,
that's it.
Yeah, you do, Messi.
That's what you're.
Oh well, I think that's enough of that now. Now that Mez has started to lose his marbles. So Gilly, we'll have predictions then for the West Ham game. What we're saying?
Yeah, that's fine. So ready to capture them. So I'll just go around the room. And Luke, you're first on my screen.
Go for a score draw. I'm going to go 2-2.
No problem. Jay, can I assume that you're a 4-1?
Of course. Can't wait to
and you're sticking with Leeds
again. Yeah, of course. it can only be one way.
Just making sure. Smarts.
He wants to copy me, doesn't he?
He wants to go West Ham. Is what he wants to do.
Yeah, he wants the points.
He's just hearing the -5. That's the problem. He wants to go.
That's it, isn't it? But you've got to get your balls out if you want to get some big points in this league. I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Oh, you dirty bastard!
Oh, hate it.
Do you not feel bad?
And you can
Yeah,
guarantee
no,
that
wait.
scum bastard will fucking score an all fucking Jay dickface.
It's happening.
Do you not feel bad for going against us?
Yeah, I do, mate.
I can't do it.
I can't.
Even if I think I'm not bothered about some shitty league. Not shitty. Sorry, it's not shit.
All right, man. It's fucking hell,
Hey, you can only be glass
Crash
one.
the predictions league just because
You're
you're not
not
winning.
glassy next time, see.
No, but I'd rather be a man like you, Jay, that goes Leeds every time, regardless. Than some
And you
night
called
smart.
me an happy clapper for saying, "Oh, but it was great."
I just don't want to be like Pete. I don't even like people like Smarty. He's the type of lad who'd put a tenner on Leeds to lose and feel good about it.
You're gonna start
Well, I've
stroking
covered all bases, haven't I?
Bond villain.
Right, okay, all right. We need to move on. From this.
Don't worry,
gonna
Spy.
be
If you win
sensitive all
predictions
abuse.
league, I'll get you one of them blue and white plates.
Yeah, right, I'll be -5 at weekend, hopefully. I want to lose.
I can't
I want to
decide.
be in rock bottom.
Come on, Gilly.
All right, go on, Gilly.
Well, no, I'm going. I'm going 1-0.
All right, sorry.
You had to think
Score
about
draw.
that, didn't you?
Score draw, but 1-0. Tight game.
Did you have to think about that so long because you nearly
It's just
went
that
West Ham?
it's hard
Yeah.
not to positively
I
win.
told you on last main podcast. If I go a draw, it's because I think we're going to get beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
yeah.
here.
How
There's a
can you
chance
think
of us getting beat.
when
You
I-
can't bring yourself to say it, can you? Unlike that turncoat over
That's
there,
it.
Smarty.
Yeah, but how
there's
can
got
you
to be
be
something wrong
positive?
with you.
You want to bury your head in sand and not be realist? No, it's great. We don't ever get beaten, us lads.
Got to
No,
be something wrong with you to back
we don't.
against
We
your
don't
team.
have Calvin Phillips in middle at Park, so we're going to fucking struggle.
Oh, that's not a good enough excuse for backing against Leeds for me, mate. I don't wash.
Going down in a blaze of glory like Bon Jovi.
The thing is, like, we could field 5 players, and you fuckers would still say a 2-0 Leeds.
I'm going to say 4-1
That's the
Leeds
fucking
every
truth of
week,
it, isn't
mate.
it? Let's be honest.
Every week.
He's there just playing fucking cup of doubles on his own. Oh, Leeds will win, don't you?
Finals, you mean?
Cuppy dubs.
Oh, God. That can be next week's poll.
We've had a
right.
poll, haven't we?
Oh,
Next week's. Not this week's.
What?
No,
Gilly said we've had a poll on.
no,
it's cup-
somebody did have a poll on that. didn't
final. It's either just cup.
Oh, yeah, somebody did, yeah.
Yeah.
Not us, though. Not us. We're
No,
here
we'll
to
sort
get
one
to the root of the big issues, aren't we? So
they? Vinegar first.
Vinegar always first. We all love a vinegar stroke.
To be fair, no, salt, vinegar, salt. I'm happy with
I
that.
just don't
Vinegar
get the
doesn't
double
have to
salt.
be first, as long as there's salt at the end.
I don't even know what I do. I just fucking eat it.
yeah, I just chuck a lot of shit on and eat it.
That's what
I'm
she
having
said.
fish and chips Friday, me. Fuck it. Fuck the diet.
Why not, mate? Why not?
Gotta be done.
Right, the next item on our agenda, moving you
Okay.
boys on, because we've gone back to fish and chips, is the best
Fuck
part
your fish and
of
chip
the,
country.
Fuck
Shut
your
the fuck
mothers
up.
and your fish and chip country.
best part of the podcast, the best part of any podcast, a hot topic. So, hot topic obviously is where we look at the opposing team's manager for the next game and we compare him with the famous Hock. And we make a choice there on which one we would want in charge of our team. So, Luke, I'm going to you first.
Quite easy, straightforward for me. I'm going to go with David Moyes, regardless that he's been at the
You
fucking
can't do that.
scum.
Me and Carl got destroyed for picking
Hey.
up last time.
Oh, you
Listen,
I'm
listen.
starting to sound a little bit like fucking Gary Neville here. My voice is
Listen.
going higher. But I've just backed
Listen.
our team, but you're backing Moyes against fucking. I can't. Speak.
David Hockaday.
Come on,
We're
you crack
talking.
on, You crack
Oh,
on.
Right, listen,
Hey.
let me fucking finish, will
Get him
you?
off the field.
Not nice, is it, Les?
We've got David Moyes, who's taken West Ham to 4th in the Premier League, and we've got David Hockaday, who's a teacher at a fucking
Taking
all boys
Leeds to the
school.
Champions
Damn right.
League.
Damn right.
Exactly.
He's probably on some sort of register.
Oh, school
In the
register.
college, you mean?
School register.
It's
Yeah,
something.
register.
That's what he does every morning.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean anything, David. If you want to get in touch with the podcast,
Have you on?
These are not the opinions of everyone on the Ought to Know About.
Smarty at.
opinions are our own. No, David Hockaday. Sorry, not David Hockaday, because David Moyes has done a smashing job with West Ham. Scummer or not, he fucked them over. To be fair, didn't he? He did
Yeah.
a shit job, and actually that was the start of their decline, which was quite nice. So yeah, to be fair, no competition for me.
Fair enough. Smarty, what are you saying?
Well,
Please restore my faith.
We start the fifth. Well, like Mez has, briefly summarised, is thinking of the future of our children downstairs.
Protecting our children.
He's educating our children, nurturing the youth of tomorrow with his Champions League fucking swimming badge and cycling proficiency. So it's got to be fucking. I mean, no one in their right mind. Only someone who puts salt on the stuff, then vinegar afterwards. Pick Moyes over Hockaday. Someone not right in the head. Obviously, it's Hockaday.
Fair enough, Gilly. What about you?
It's no contest. You know what we did to you and Carl. Well, to be fair, you know what we did to you, and Carl stood by and watched while you got torn to pieces for choosing.
We're not the other way around.
Oh no, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, you watched it.
I sort of watched all you ripped Carl to shreds and just hoped you'd forgot about
Cruel
cunt.
Beep.
Cheers, Rez.
Awful bastard. I can't go scummer. I'm sorry. I
but you've got to be look at it this way, Gilly. You've got to be realistic. If we were in the Premier League now,
listen.
How
can you say it? Be a realist. When we're probably going to get pumped by fucking West Ham, and you're telling me
you're telling I'm not betting against the team. I'm thinking for the better of the team. Not you're not. You're thinking fucking David Hockaday and 2-1 West Ham.
He's a fucking.
Do you want us in fucking League One or what?
There's going to be warnings all over this shit. There's going to be more fog on.
Hockaday is in. I'm not having this.
Hockaday.
This is not made for kids.
Fuck the scummers.
Mental advisory.
Fuck the scummers.
Parental advisory. Luke's on.
He's not even a scummer. He managed them for a bit.
Yeah,
and fucked them up.
What? But he didn't fuck them up. He took on a shit squad and did a really good job.
That's not what they said.
Did he? Otherwise, he'd still be there.
We call him Agent Moyes. Yeah, but the expectations were just completely unrealistic. We call him Agent Moyes because it's funny to wind up scum fans because they don't know anything about football and think it began in the 90s. They can all get fucked. He can get fucked. Hockaday's in, and that's all there is fucking to it.
There he goes. We've got him.
Yes. David Hockaday, if you'd like a charity boxing match, then I'm your man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, obviously, I'm going for the Hock because I didn't go for anything other than that.
Fuck you, you turn.
The rippage that I got last time.
Buy a spine. Get to shop and get a spine, you.
I don't get paid enough for this to have a spine at the moment. I'm sticking with the Hock because he's bringing through the future of our country and our football.
Fuck off.
Boys don't care about the future. He's just happy to still be here.
I bet he sings Michael Jackson to him at the start of every morning.
Come on, Jay, get a grip. Come on.
Oh, Antonio, I want you at the front. Putting their balls in, Chamon.
I thought you were the most sober here.
It's gone. It's gone.
That's it now. We've descended into chaos. Fuck it. Just embrace
Check my bad self.
Oh, God. Can we get back on track?
Yeah, we better do. I think we've got
Did
another.
you ever stop to notice?
Oh, God. I think we've got another competition coming up, haven't we, Luke?
Yeah, probably so. So Emily Render at mrender has very kindly donated a print of the winner's choice, as picked by M, to pick basically a print and a couple of stickers. I think no better stickers as well. Stick them on your guitars, on your laptops. Stick them over David Hockaday's face on your wall, poster on your wall if you want. Yeah, so M has very kindly donated that to the lucky winner. That'll be running through March, so we'll get a post. Jimmy Neutron will get a post out for us sometime soon, and we'll it'll be based on retweets and follows and all that bollocks, the usual per.
Good stuff, and they are awesome prints as well. So hopefully,
these are them similar to these.
You don't have a spirit level in his house, doesn't Mez?
For those of you listening on the audio only podcast,
Yeah, of course.
Mez is
I got
pointing out
David
some
Hock there to
pictures.
come and put them up, but he's only 4 foot tall, so he couldn't get top ends.
Oh.
It's got limited reaches, lad. Right, I think that's probably enough for me this week. I don't think I can take much more of this. So,
just one thing, we've touched on the fish and chip country, and we've touched on what we did to Ren when we took their star man off them. I'd just like to finish off by saying just how amazing it would be if we took Camavinga off them as well. Just to see the meltdown that would occur if we did, it would
They'd
just
come
be
over with the torches and
beautiful.
pitchforks,
It
wouldn't
would.
There'd be
What is
some
he
angry-
worth?
There'd be some angry French mimes outside the front of Elland Road in the stripy t-shirts, carrying the garlic and the baguettes.
I don't-
Threatening rads.
It's probably upwards of 35. So it might.
Oh
not
God,
be
and the rest.
It might not be realistic for us, but
You
yeah,
fucking English big dogs.
it would be amazing to see just
You
for
know
the
our players.
meltdown that occurred.
Market value 60 million euros.
What's that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's about 45,
55
48,
mil.
isn't
50,
it? Is it?
55.
I'd buy Rafinha's left boot, that.
Yeah, exactly.
He is
Liverpool
classed though,
take
he's at
note.
Camavinga. He's only about 18 and he's 17.
Yeah, 18.
I bet I can't wait to play PL2. 50 fucking million quid.
And get run into the ground on the training ground
Yeah,
doing
so
murder
he's
ball.
been playing in fucking under 23s for a few months.
When we can trust you, we'll call you up. Or we'll send you out on loan to Bradford. Love that little lad. Right, that'll do for this week. Don't forget that we've got the stats, which will be out on match day. Is it going to be yourself again, Luke?
I
Or
believe
is
so, yeah.
Is that to be decided?
Yeah, it'll be either myself or Adam.
Fair enough. Mad Adam. We always like a bit of Mad Adam, brightening the place up. So yeah, we've got that coming out next match day. Obviously, we'll have a Berardi and Coke after that, so come join us for one of those. As always, we'll have some guests on and stuff, and a bit of, I'd say, organised chaos, but it's not really that organised. It depends if we win or lose. To be fair, it depends
You
with the
don't know what
calendar,
you're going
but
to
at the
get.
same
It's a bit of a
time,
mixed bag.
that's
No,
it.
you don't know what you're going to get, but we do have an ex-pro joining us on most of those now.
We
Yeah,
do. We've gone up in the world, and we'll have good old Si Johnson on there with us. And yeah, other than that, we've got an in off the VAR coming up sometime in the week following that, I believe. I have to double check that one because I'm useless and can't remember when the next one's due out. But I'll just be honest and tell you that, and I'm sure Gilly will add that in the notes up there on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
well,
yeah, that's it for me. I'll say bye and adios, lads.
All right. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.